Welcome to Botches Off-Road. Today is going to be a mix of news. Gavin's got some, I've got some. Mark's going to be here commentating, I think.
Yep.
We got a voicemail, so we'll get to that here in a bit. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, well, when he says news, we're looking at some of Northology Magazine's articles, and this month there's a couple of things we wanted to cover, so we're going to look at that stuff. There's a 250th, a U.S. 250th article that I'm going to read out just for everybody to listen to. That way they don't have to go and search it up just for that. And then...
And didn't you...
Alex...
didn't you have some stuff on Overland Expedition Portal? Or Expeditions Portal?
I'll have to look that up. I don't have that anymore. But we're going to read this up for you real quick. And then...
Should we do the voicemail first?
Sure.
All right. One of these days we'll have a whole order. All right. I'm going to turn that up. Make sure that's up. You guys ready?
Yep.
I do not know who this is from. There's no name on it or anything, so.
Check this, you guys. This podcast has been quite intense lately. So, I've been listening. I don't have a tank because I have a tab over. But I've been thinking about buying one. But you guys have so many damn tents, I'm not sure which one to buy. So, I guess I'm just going to throw out just me and the wife. And generally we go to campgrounds where we don't have to move the tent. So it's set up when we get there, break down when we leave. So I don't necessarily need anything that's super quick. Would be nice, but would be nice to be able to stand up in it. 5'11". I don't necessarily need any more room than putting a couple of sleeping bags in it. Yeah. Just let me know. And yeah, get that rig done so that you can stop talking about tents. What are you guys' plans with all these tents? Like in California, when somebody has that many tents, it's usually I don't know, the beginning of a cult or an encampment for people that do meth. Anyway, I don't know if I said it in the beginning or not, but it's Wreck-It Rob. I'm sure you guys knew that. Have a great 4th. Hope you guys have fun in your tent. Maybe you guys should stop buying Toyotas. My Chevy fires up and goes to the trail whenever I want it to go to the trail. I don't have these problems you guys are running into. Maybe you guys should stop being Yoda boys and buy some domestic stuff. So you guys should come out here and go wheeling with me. You guys see some domestic violence out on the trail. Talk to you later. I'm out.
All right, so Wreck-It Rob, for one, if I wanted to buy a Chevy, it would end up looking exactly like the Chevy-powered Jeep sitting in my yard that does not run. And it would look just like the Chevy car that is sitting in my yard, not running. And it would look just like my dad's Duramax that's costed him a shit ton of money. There's a reason I don't buy Chevys. It's okay if it takes me 3.5, 4 weeks to figure out a $12 sensor. I'm good with it.
3 or 4 weeks.
I'm not. That really... It took me like 3 weeks to figure out what was wrong with the freaking Toyota. No, it was only like 3 weeks, but it was a long like 3 fucking weeks, dude.
I count months of us doing the timing, and yeah.
I would say that if I was to ever go back to Chevy, just from my experience, I had a 2001 Chevy Suburban, and for my family, that would be kind of a fun full-size rig that I could do, but kind of easy. 5.3s are like a dime a dozen. And yeah, like I would do something like that probably. I've taken that through some deeper water and before I even know how to wheel, and that did okay. So if I ever did Chevy, I might go back to a Suburban or a four-door like a Jimmy or something. That would be fun. We had a Jimmy when I was younger. That was cool. Just from newer. I mean, 70s would be cool too, but we're not going there.
I want a two-door Tahoe really bad with the barn doors in the back.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's like the perfect off-road rig to me. It's better than any Bronco.
I always thought that the old presidential Suburbans, Tahoes, were cool as hell from the early 2000s that they had miniguns popping out of them and shit. So
the really expensive, heavy ones.
Yeah. But I always thought those were really cool, and I really liked my Chevy. Before I knew anything about vehicles or anything about that, it started to get a lifter tick, which I didn't know was pretty common for those. I thought it was a sign that the engine was going out, and so I tried dumping it as fast as I can. Young and dumb. I should have kept it, but it was a good truck. In regards to the tent thing, that's kind of hard. I mean, it depends on climate and stuff, but I would just say off the top of my head, Gazelle is a decent tent. It kind of checks most of your boxes.
I mean, if you want to stand up, Gazelle's like the only way to go.
Yeah, well, like you could do, like my 6-person was tall enough in the arch to stand up in the middle. But you know, I don't know. It's hard to give you like a recommendation like based off of that, I guess. Gazelle has worked for a lot of other people. They have their flaws, but they're well-known flaws. And you can get them very cheap on Marketplace right now, half off, 3/4, more than that. And they stand up, they're pop-up, they're pretty stout in wind from what I've seen. We've had
big enough for 2 people.
Yep. Gives you plenty of room to stand up. The only downside to Gazelles are the doors and the quality of workmanship because they are mass produced. So sometimes you get some issues with workmanship here and there. A lot of them by far though seem to be okay. So that's what I would probably recommend personally for something you could stand up in.
For something, I can't recommend a swag in that category.
Right.
No.
But I mean, when it comes to what are we going to do with all these tents, well, the big swag is for when my wife is with me. The little swag is for when I'm alone.
Yeah.
The $100 Walmart tent is just here because I haven't sold it yet.
Right.
And the Light Fighter is kind of just here because I haven't sold it yet.
Yeah, I think tents, much like most people's kits and other things. Let's use guns for example. People have guns for a lot of different reasons. You have a hunting rifle that's suitable for this. You have a home defense gun that's suitable for this. You have a junk car gun that's, one of those guns that you might not care as much if you lose it versus your carry. So there are different guns or so. Maybe this is too American for someone who's in California, but
listen. He's from NorCal.
Oh yes,
NorCal's a little more
different. Yeah,
may as well call it NoCal because it's not that much like California.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, Wreck-It. That's his next episode. He's gonna come after me. but I mean, it's like we have different things for different situations. My tents are kind of the same, but it's also an evolution of like where I've come from and realizing what I need. And then still knowing that these tents are decent quality tents, they haven't failed me yet, and there are situations to where I would use them. So like my 6-person that I've been in for base camping is right now it's a good spare tent just in case something goes wrong, and I still have a tent to use. But it's also if I take a friend out camping and I introduce them, like my buddy Hayden, for example, that I talked about in our 30-minute, he wanted to go camping. If I knew that I would have brought my 6-person, set it up for him. He would have had a tent to use. So it's a good backup tent. It's also a good introductory tent. Like, it's always going to keep him waterproof or someone waterproof. It's going to be good against most kinds of winds. It's going to be kind of an all-arounder. You can stand up in the middle of it. So it has a purpose. My 2-person Nemo Dagger has its purpose to where if I'm going to do a solo camp, let's say I go to Missouri this year, I'm going to bring that instead of my $1,000 6-person pop-up. Just because takedown and put-up's a lot more simpler. I don't need the space. It's much more simpler when I'm alone. So to me, they have their uses, and I spent so much money on them, I don't really just want to sell them. The resale value of tents is so shitty that it's kind of not worth it in some ways to try to resell them. Like
that,
the core tent
I've been
that
looking.
I have. There's not even a point.
Yeah, I've been looking, and that really depends on the tent. Like,
sure,
a used Light Fighter is still a $250 tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably.
I've been seeing them on.
Sorry, go ahead.
I've been seeing them on Marketplace, like, all over the place in the $200 to $250 range. So I mean, like, it really depends on the tent. But most of them, they don't hold a resale. Like, if I were to sell the swag, I'd probably get like $150, $200 out of it.
like my Nemo Dagger, when I bought it new, I think it was around $400 to $500. And now if I was to try to resell it, I'd be lucky to get probably $200 out of it. And to me, it's not worth it because it's a great tent. It'll serve its purpose at one point. It's not worth the amount of money that I put into getting it to try to sell it. So, I mean, and that's going to kind of go with a lot of my kit. I have a lot of kit things that I've phased out. Like, for instance, I had the Stanley did a drip coffee. I don't know if you remember that. It was like, they have the enamel style coffee makers. Well, they had an enamel style drip that you could put a filter in and drip coffee down into your cup. I had one of those, bought it when it came out. And pretty soon after, I still switched to the, what do we have? The Brew Trek Overlander system. Yep. And I switched to that. Does that drip work good? Yeah. Is it worth selling? No. And I bought it for like $25. It's not worth the gas to go meet someone to get rid of it for $5-10. I'd rather just keep it around and, maybe I'll give it to someone who talks about needing one, and who knows? Maybe I'll just collect them. I like seeing all my gear too at one place. It's kind of fun. It's like like when someone collects all their NASCAR figurines and stuff like that, or as kids we had our collectible action figures and cards. I want a room where I could put all my gear on the walls, whether I'm using it or not, and just have like a room of gear.
No, it's worth, like, some of these overland or off-road meetups, they do like gear swap meets. It's worth bringing that kind of stuff to a gear swap meet and selling it. But you're right, it's not worth the gas or time it takes to deal with Marketplace. Yeah. Like, I'm holding on to my Light Fighter and the $100 Walmart tent to take to one of those meetups.
Yeah. In fact, and I just figured out, you reminded me of this. My firebox, and I have a fold-out table that I'm really contemplating selling. So the last few trips that I've done, I did use the firebox, but I'm just getting to a point to where it's almost not worth setting up the firebox even to, like, if we just not have a night without fire, throw the light on, the Devos light, and sit there and chat. Like, fire isn't necessary.
Which one's the firebox?
That's the propane fire pit I have. The ammo can style.
What do you want for it?
I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. But but it's just something that I've been tossing around with I have a rollout table that has the top part of it rolls out, the bottom part has the legs. Bought it for like $30 on Marketplace, and it's like I haven't used it for the last part of last year and this year, and I haven't really missed it either. Like, we had early last summer, we used it to sit around for dinner, but otherwise we just sit in our camp chairs and eat. So it's like I don't really need the space or the gear, and it's just kind of taking up space at this point. in the truck. So I took those out. What was it, last weekend? Didn't even need them, use them, think about them. Went again this weekend, didn't need them, use them, think about them. And to me, that's good enough to take out of the kit and use that space. I had a lot of extra space now. I could throw my chainsaw instead of where I usually have it. I could just throw it on the floor in the back seat, and it was working fine. So I don't know. I'm seeing more and more stuff that I don't need, and I'm kind of thinning down on a lot of this stuff. I know I'm going to need to get a new power station soon, because
your propane fire pit would be so sick for winter camping.
It would, and the only thing that I will say that I've encountered with it is when we were using it in, I think, the spring shakedown, we had it going for about an hour, and then my little tank started to freeze up, and my gas diminished, like the output diminished quite a bit. Don't know exactly what did it. Maybe it was the continual usage or the pressure in the tank that wasn't giving it enough. But and everybody who's used a propane fire pit knows that it does use propane pretty quick. While it was really nice that time, that might be a very special case scenario when I bring that out. Like only when it gets.
You really need like a 20-pound tank for it.
Yeah. And I'm not willing to carry a 20-pound tank for a fire pit that I'll enjoy for an hour or so and just, put it away, and it's just taking up space. Like,
that's why it'd be nice for winter camping, because that's more of a set up a base camp kind of thing. But you don't necessarily want to set up an actual fire every time.
Yeah.
Plus, we tend to be like inside an enclosure.
Yeah.
So.
I think maybe I'll keep it around because I got it on a really good deal, and if I sell it, I know I won't really get what I want just because I know what it's worth. So maybe I'll keep it around, and if one of us needs it or something, they can borrow it, and it'll just be part of my kit until I finally decide to get rid of it. But if I do decide to sell it, I'll get a hold of you first. Give you a good discount on it.
Sounds good.
So, what else did Wreck-It Rob say? He said we went through the trucks, the tents. You said something else. I think that was most of the gist.
That's pretty much it. Making fun of us for Toyotas.
Yeah.
Telling us we should get domestics, which, I mean...
Domestics do have... I hate to say it, but domestics do have a pros and cons. I mean, the biggest pro with having a domestic is whether or not how easy it is to get foreign parts right now. Domestic parts are extremely plentiful in just about every junkyard. And like I said, foreign parts are still common, but you're going to see a lot of 2000 Chevys in the junkyard for a reason, so there's a lot to pick through.
I like everything, so I have no argument to that because I like domestic stuff. I don't even really like Toyotas. I like my Toyota.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of the same too. Like I grew up, my dad was a big Ford guy, and then he went to Chevy. And he was a big Chevy guy. He was a big Ford Chevy guy and Oldsmobile, and so like I love domestics. They have a special place in my heart, but I really like foreign cars too. So, I have a damn Jeep tattoo. Like, yeah. So
obviously, I like domestics.
That was before he found out. That was back in his old ways.
My Jeep tattoo is of a CJ7, so it is truly a domestic, not this FCA bullshit we got now.
He tells everybody now it's an FJ40. He's ashamed of it.
No, I don't.
He's ashamed of it. He's like, oh yeah, the FJ40, yeah, got that back when.
That was my first car, and I will forever be proud of that CJ7. Oh, yeah. It was part of the family, dude.
Oh, I get it. Your first car has always got a special place in your heart.
My dad bought that CJ in 1991. It was an 83, and I drove it all the way up to 2014.
I had a 1985 Chevy 1-ton dually with a 454, matte black, diamond plate bed, It was like set up for welding, so it had a inverter and outlets in the back, suicide rear doors that had no handles. You had to use a key fob to open them or open them from the inside. And it was all that dark red, like burgundy-ish interior.
Oh, that's my favorite
Dude,
interior on
yeah,
any vehicle.
and I fucking loved that thing. But I was probably 17 or 18, working part-time, trying to get my license to drive it legally. Insurance was astronomical for it. Gas was astronomical for it. It got like 7 miles to the gallon on a good day. And I just could not afford it. But it's one of those things is like, you love it, you have to let it go. And I had to let it go.
Yeah, my Roadmaster was burgundy interior.
Yep.
The nice leather grandmother's couch.
Yep. And then I went straight from that to a 1985 Crown Vic LTD, I think it is. And it was a Canadian car, same color interior, same color outside. And I think it had a 302 in it. And we straight piped that. It had holes in the floorboards. And my foot or two could go through. And that was a fun car. And I technically still own that. And it is sitting parked on Beaver Island somewhere, because I couldn't take it with me. So I always wonder about that car. I always wonder if they ended up just scrapping it or what. Like maybe someone else tried to, because I bought it for $300. It was in a scrapyard. A scrapyard in Beaver Island's just kind of like a junkyard, basically. Like some guy's random yard is a scrapyard. So I bought it off of him. He gave me the title. I spent a bunch of money trying to get this thing running, got it running, got the Suburban a little after that, and only drove the Suburban and pretty much just let that go. And when I left Beaver Island, I took the Suburban. I'm like, there's not two people who could drive my car somewhere, so I just left it. And
Man, Gavin, if I tried to go through the history of my cars, there's 50-some cars on my list. It would take like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, I don't have a huge... I started a little later because at like 17 or 18 because of how hard it was for me to try to get everything by myself. So
I was 17 when I got my license and started driving.
yeah, well, I started at 17. My dad forgot to pay for the school's driver's course and then refused to. So I ended up having to wait another year anyway to get to 18 and just take the whole road test and everything. So yeah, I kind of started a little later. And because insurance was just astronomically high for me, that was horrible. I was paying like, for PLPD, I was paying like a crap ton.
Well, we may as well move on to some news here. So we'll start with Northology. We got about a half hour left.
Yeah, I think that's all we're going
cool...
to have time for is the 2 Northologies.
Yeah. There's some cool stuff in Northology. I'll let you do the America one first because that's up front. I'm not going to read all of the one about Wisconsin trails. I'm just going to kind of skim through it because I don't want to hear the whole thing. It's just good to know that something cool happened in a state that had like no access whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to plug the 250 because we just had the 4th of July, and it's something to kind of talk about. So this year, America celebrates 250 years since a small group of ordinary people did something extraordinary. They challenged the world's most powerful empire, risked their fortunes, their reputations, and often their lives, all because they believed that freedom was worth fighting for. I think about that sometimes when I turn the key and point my truck toward a dirt road, and often when I am awestruck by a sweeping vista in eastern Oregon, a mountain summit in Idaho, or a deep, dense forest clearing by a little lake in Wisconsin or the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. As overlanders, we spend a lot of time talking about gear destinations, vehicle builds, and maps. We obsess over the next trail, the next campsite, and the next adventure. But every once in a while, it's worth stepping back and asking a simple question. Why is this lifestyle even possible? One of the greatest privileges of being an American is the ability to travel this incredible country with very few barriers. We can leave home on a Friday afternoon and cross multiple state lines without checkpoints. We can explore towering mountains, endless deserts, dense forests, rolling plains, and rugged coastlines, all without ever needing a passport. I look at the size of this country, the diversity of cultures, and across state lines, and laugh at the elite overlanders who proclaim that only by crossing international borders can one truly say they have been overlanding. You know who you are. I'm not amused. Even more remarkable is that
Ex-Overland.
maybe I don't know if I think that maybe they preclude that out, but I've never necessarily seen them say that. I think they have a different style.
Oh, dude, they said it right in a podcast. I'll find it.
Yeah, find it for me and tag me after. Even more remarkable is that millions of acres of public land belong not to a king, a corporation, or a privileged few, but the American people. National forests, Bureau of Land Management lands, state forest, wildlife areas, and countless public roads and trails invite us to discover places that previous generations had the wisdom to preserve. That isn't normal everywhere. Most travelers around the world face limited public access, fewer opportunities for dispersed camping, or restrictions that make spontaneous adventure far more difficult. Every country has its own history, culture, and way of managing its natural resources, but as Americans, we sometimes forget how fortunate we are. The freedom to wander is a gift. Like every gift, it comes with a responsibility. As overlanders, we are among the most visible ambassadors for public land. Every piece of trash we pack out, every trail we help maintain, every volunteer day we attend helps ensure these opportunities remain available for the next family heading down that same forest road. I've always believed overlanding is far more than driving. It's about discovering our country. It's about meeting people whose lives look different from our own. It's about learning the history of the places we explore. And it's about realizing that America is far bigger, more beautiful, and diverse than anything we could ever understand by simply scrolling through headlines. One of the greatest gifts of travel is the closer you get to America, the more you appreciate it. As we approach our nation's 250th birthday, I hope that we can do more than hang a flag or watch a parade. She does shameless plug. I hope that we get outside. I hope we introduce our family to the places that make this country special. I hope we visit the small towns, the forgotten monuments, the scenic byways, the national forests, and the quiet campsites where the stars still outnumber the streetlights. Most of all, I hope we remember why these opportunities exist. The men and women who founded this nation were far from perfect, but they possessed extraordinary courage. They believed that ordinary people should have the right to govern themselves instead of living under tyranny. They saw a nation where liberty wasn't granted by a ruler, but was recognized as something inherent to every person. That vision has endured for over 2.5 centuries because generation after generation has chosen to preserve it. Freedom isn't something we inherit once and forget about it, like our trails, our public lands, and our communities. It required stewardship. It asks something of us, and as overlanders, we understand stewardship better than most. We know that the trails stay open because people volunteer, campsites remain clean because someone cared enough to leave them better than they found them, and public lands endure because we value them enough to protect them. Our freedoms deserve the same care. On this July 4th, when you air down your tires, unfold your camp chair, or watch the sunset from some forgotten ridge, take a moment to appreciate how remarkable that opportunity really is. Wave the flag, thank those who came before us, and leave the trail better than you found it. Then keep exploring this extraordinary country. Not because it's perfect, not because it's but because it's ours to know, to appreciate, and protect. There's 250 years of American liberty and adventures that freedom continues to make possible. God bless America. And that is by Cindy Pope.
I'm trying to find that bit, and all I can find is other people talking about it. I think they deleted that podcast episode.
Maybe. I know that there's a lot of... and there always has been a lot of back and forth about the true definition of overlanding. And I think I remember a certain podcast where they talk about it, or it might even be a YouTube video that they talk about it.
We actually covered when they did that pretty early on, so I might go back through our episode because I told you it's what lost or when they lost me with their podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just an opinion. So, I mean, I don't really. Everybody's got different opinions, and I'm not gonna sit there and tell them that they're wrong for it. I mean, that's just their style. Yeah. Someone might disagree with my opinion, and I hope they wouldn't, stop listening to me just because they disagree or anything. But
that was a really good. That was a really good article by Cindy, though.
Yeah, it was really good. I skimmed through it at first, which is why I kind of really wanted to read it out. It's important to remember.
Yeah. So, I don't even think I've looked too much at Wisconsin lately. So, the big thing is Wisconsin just opened up 22 miles of trails, which to most people doesn't sound like a lot, but most people from Wisconsin just come here to wheel because there's nothing in their state. So, what is it, Langlade County or Langlad or however they pronounce that?
Langlade.
They got together. They got together and they made 22 miles of just, I don't want to say full size, just our size rig trails, like Jeep trails, Toyota trails. They're not for side by sides. They're not for quads. They're just for us, which is really sick. And these aren't like. I'm looking at some of the pictures, and these aren't like easy forest roads. Like they're crawling rocks, they're winching. Like it looks like it's actually a good time. That's just not something you see get added to Midwest trail systems. We see it taken away.
Yeah.
So it's worth giving a shout out to Langlade County just for the fact that they've done that.
It looks like the county partnered with Four Lakes Four-Wheelers to create a managed, sustainable OHMV system built specifically for Jeeps and trucks and other full-size off-road vehicles. And that was the result. 22 miles of legal trails, including more of 7 miles of dedicated challenge terrain ranging from technical rock crawls to steep hill climbs, designed using environmentally sustainable trail practices managed for future growth. So
they are, I guess there's a lot of people complaining about paying $60 per rig to be able to do it, but that's like standard here-ish. Like ours is like 45.
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
It costs money to maintain these trails. They can't just do it for free.
Yeah, and so from what it says, the annual permit costs $60 per rig and driver, $50 for the vehicle permit, and $10 for the operator permit. I'm not really sure if they mean 60 plus 50 and then 10, so 100?
No, I think in total.
Okay.
No, it's...
Because otherwise, that's really not that
10
bad.
For the license.
Yeah, that's really not bad.
I do like the idea of a operator permit for trails, though.
Yeah.
That is kind of sick. That could help weed out a little bit of riffraff.
Right. Like locals. Yeah. But it looks like... so annually, that's not that bad. And I'm assuming that helps fund the recreation. Yeah, it says with Langlade, your permit isn't buying one day. It's helping fund the entire recreation program. That money supports trail, maintenance, signage, insurance, environmental stewardship, enforcement, and maybe most importantly, the continued existence and future of an expansion of legal trail system dedicated to full-size vehicles. So, to me, it's worth it because, like Alex said, you don't get a lot of trails actually being opened up. And 22 miles, if anybody's done 22 miles of trail, that's nothing to kind of shirk at, depending on the trail.
Well, I guess that, is that looking at the pictures I'm seeing, 22 miles of trail, that looks like it'd be a comfortable 2-day trip.
Yeah. And so, 22 miles of trail in Michigan, I mean, we could do that in a couple hours, but...
Maybe less.
Yeah, maybe less. It just depends on the trail, really. I mean, but from what we see in the pictures here, I mean, it looks pretty dang nice.
It looks like you could easily do it in a day, but to make it more fun, I'd want a camping trip, so I do it, half in, finish the rest of the next day. But I don't know. It looks like a very cool trail system. I'll have to. I just learned about this like 10 minutes before we recorded, so I'll have to do some more research and see what the trail's like. Because, hell, 22 miles isn't a lot, but it's close enough that I'm tempted to run over there and try it.
Right. I mean, it's really not that far. I think some of the argument, too, is that they used to do it for free with air quotations around that. But I think there is a downside. Like, I agree with doing it for free. I agree that we have certain rights for that. But I also think that some people abuse these rights, and sometimes it needs to be kind of filtered.
Free doesn't mean guaranteed, though.
Right.
I mean, if you think back, we used to do the prairie for free all the time, and they took that away.
Right. And I think, and that's kind of what I went back to, is that free allows for the riffraff sometimes. People that don't really care and don't really want to sustain our trails and just want to, like, I don't care if you want to go drink beer, but, like, typically it's the locals or side-by-side drivers that are coming in and trashing the place, having bonfires, leaving their garbage. And that's what takes the free away. That's where they start shutting things down. So a pay-to-play for an entire year that you could go up and down that trail system, explore other trails. Wisconsin isn't completely trail-free. There are some trails in there. There's the Twat, which is the trans.
Dude, the Twat ain't a trail.
It's an
not a
overlanding route. Okay, my bad.
It is literally dirt roads and paved roads. Over half of it's paved.
It's a attraction for some overlanders. So I'm sorry I call it a trail, everybody. It's a road. But obviously
a bunch of roads.
Whatever. Yeah. So it's some roads, but it's still an attraction for overlanders. And so there's not necessarily no things to do for overlanders in Wisconsin, I guess is what I'm trying to say. There are some trails. There is the Twat that is not a trail. It's a bunch of roads. And there is some other stuff to do, so I'd be interested to go. There is some really cool scenic stuff in Wisconsin that I'd love to go down and see. Some actual parks, like state park stuff. I'm not a big state park guy, but some of their state parks or national forests and stuff over there are pretty cool. I think they have
we did some stuff in Wisconsin, and we gave up because there just wasn't any. So we ended up just driving roads back.
Yeah. So I think for my style, there's more for us to do because we're more destination based. Like going to spots that are pretty cool instead of like just taking the trail, which is supposed to be the cool part. But as far as my family goes, that's kind of what we do is we're more destination based. We like to drive the trails to get there, but it's necessarily each destination or point on the way. So there is cool stuff in Wisconsin. It's just not super trail heavy stuff. So it'd be cool to see everything kind of get more opened up. I'd like to see this start spreading around. I'd love to see if we can get more like down in Ohio going into some of the other southern states like Tennessee, because there are some places in Tennessee, but it's kind of weird because some of these other southern states just don't have the same. They have more scenery, but they don't have the same trail amount as we do here. Like you can go up north 45 minutes and there's just fucking trails everywhere. But
there is one thing I'll give the Twat, which is kind of cool. It goes through the Driftless area, which I've never been to. It's a part of the Midwest that never had glaciers on it. And apparently at the edge of it, you can see like a dark riff of where it changes from where glaciers went to where they didn't.
That would be cool.
Dude, that alone would be cool.
There is, and I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but there is a place in Wisconsin. I've shared it before, and it's probably on my wish list somewhere on my phone, but it's got massive crevice that you could walk through that's all mossy and shit.
Witches. It's something. Witches something.
Witch's Cauldron, maybe. But yes, it's got something like that in there. And there's
Witch's Gulch.
Witch's Gulch, yeah. I think that's what it is. And that's absolutely beautiful. And I would love to spend some time hiking around, checking that stuff out.
So that's kind of what it's like at Turkey Run down in Indiana, which you're going to pay for. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's free.
Right.
But it's a lot like Witch's Gulch minus the boarded walkways. You're actually hiking through the stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to make a route that took us through like Witch's Gulch, connected onto the Twat, and went up through the UP and back down, kind of a big loop. And while the Twat's not very interesting as far as obstacles and stuff go, it's just a fun way to say it's like for some overlanders that I would say soft overland, they don't do a lot of like 2 tracks and stuff. It's one of those. It's almost like a badge of honor to do some of these trails or roads, but the ones that are named, like doing the Yat or the Daniel Boone Byway or Imogene. You have all these named systems of trails that are named routes that people put together. And people like to kind of go and do those to kind of collect them. And I like the idea of doing that. Like I haven't done the Yat yet, which is the Uper Adventure Trail. I would like to do that. But it's just one of those things where I'd like to just say that I did it. I'd like to say that I did the Yat. I'd like to say I did the Trans-Wisconsin Adventure Trail. Just to do it. The 7-hour plane crash, even though that's gotten boring too. There's nothing fun on it. I'd like to say that I did it.
We did that in its heyday, and it was boring.
Yeah. So, it might be boring for you because of how you like to do your style, but I don't know. It might just be fine for us. We might just like the scenery and stuff as we drive. I don't know.
It's long, straight, a lot of pavement, and when you're not on pavement for the majority of it, you're on a trail next to the pavement, and it's all groomed. It's not that pretty. It's pretty in the beginning, or the beginning and the end are nice. Everything in between, it's like you're driving on an expressway, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes that's fun with me. I don't know. Sometimes it's okay to just go down dirt roads and bullshit around. I don't know. So, I don't know. It'd be fun to do. Just to say that I did it and be like, "Yep, I have that experience. I've done it," and be done with it. But if I don't like it, I don't like it. But I did it, and that's one of the routes, I guess, that are popular around the overlanding community in this part of the world. I guess in the U.S.
I'm looking at those trails in Langley County, and there's only a mile of it that's actually like what we were seeing pictures of.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
It's not worth going to Wisconsin for a mile of trail.
I don't know. I'd still probably do it just to go to Wisconsin and camp out at the trails and see Witch's Gulch and do that. I think that'd be a cool little trip.
Oh, actually, I take that back. There's a little bit more up north of there a little bit. All right, so there is some cool stuff up there.
I'd probably go through the UP, come up
Oh,
from north, go down, see Witch's Gulch, do some of those trails, and then come back. Maybe hit a different route.
these are side by side and ATV trails that I'm seeing.
Oh yeah. Well, it might be newer. Onyx might not have all of it thrown out yet.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to go to weird places that don't get talked about a lot. Minnesota, northern Minnesota, by like the Superior National Forest area.
Yep.
I think that would be pretty fucking fun.
I'd also like to do, with any non-felons, I'd like to do a loop around Lake Superior. And
like up into Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, start down at St. Ignace, the Sioux, and do a loop all the way up and around Lake Superior and back down through the bridge, and
There's
find some
there's a
trails
few
around there.
trails just north of the Sioux that I really
I've seen
wanna
those.
do.
Yeah, we've talked about those, I think, before, some of those up there, and I wanted to go do those as
Yeah.
well. But I just think it would be
Like-
cool to say, like, hey, I don't know. I look at my Onyx and I see all my tracks, and it's like a collectible thing. Like, I like seeing all the tracks that I did and the family did. I like to add more to that. So,
I don't even save them.
oh, I do. I like seeing where I've been, and also it helps for scouted areas. When I plan trips, I like to know where I've been so that I don't overlap on trips, so that I'm exploring different places every time. So this last trip that I did that I actually led, I ended up overlapping a little bit, but we found some cool trails still. And I uploaded that. I wish I would have got more at camp, but there are too many damn kids at camp, and I don't like filming other kids, so. But
Yeah,
camp life
I
is
agree.
fun. Camp life is really fun, especially when you get everybody around. But yeah, the trails are actually pretty interesting doing that. So had a blast on that trip. So all in all, in other news, I found a chair that might be cool. Maybe a new potential camp chair for me and Sienna,
yeah.
which I'm pasting now. I haven't looked at the price of it because it's sold out right now. But it's a folding camp chair that folds up like a normal camp chair, but has a foam pad on it that you can use with or without the foam pad. And it looks really sturdy. It looks really comfortable. Got a little cup holder.
We can say, so even though it's sold out, it gives me the estimated a month amount
Yeah.
from ShopPay.
Yes, it's $29.
Which it doesn't. Hold on.
Oh
Let's
my
break-
god!
Oh my god! You're looking at $360.
Yeah,
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
right. Never mind.
Buy yourself a folding chair.
Yeah,
go to
no
Walmart
kidding.
and get a fucking chair pad.
I just saw the price when you did that. I did the same thing at the same time.
I was thinking, I saw
Damn.
Hess like, oh no, this thing's gonna be over $100.
I knew
And
it would
it's
be
like
too, and I'm like,
$300.
for a good chair, I'm like, okay, but $300 fucking dollars, dude. If we're talking
It
about, it looks really nice though.
It looks like similar construction to my heated chairs, and those broke. So
Oh, this looks way beefier than your heated chairs.
not in the spot that broke on mine.
What was it? Oh, the Yeti. Oh, have you seen the Yeti Overland chairs? They look so uncomfortable.
No, I haven't. But no, Mark, what I look at is at the very top where the back hangs. That's almost identical to how the heated chairs worked.
So it's similar.
The
Similar construction to the Yeti chair is what this one. The Yeti. Hold on, I got the link right here. There you go. So
the trailhead for $300.
$300, and it's pretty similar
Fuck.
construction. No foam pad though.
Fuck that.
So you know exactly where I'm about to go. I'm about to fucking go check Temu for some new camp chairs, because I'm not paying $300 for one fucking camp chair. You're out of your mind. Out of your mind. Let's see. Camp chair. See if we got any cool things.
Okay, so you remember when you were kids and your parents had those chairs out on the porch that were like woven together?
Oh, God, I hate
Yeah,
those,
you're talking about the Toyota ones?
I found another company that has the same goddamn thing, starting at $200.
Is that the Toyota branded ones, like Mark was saying?
Yes.
This one's a Voyager. They might have a Toyota one as well. I don't know. Yeah, they have a Toyota one too.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. 5-position, adjustable with a carry bag. looks similar. You can actually adjust the lean or whatever on it. Dude, I would buy that over those other ones in a heartbeat. Oh, yeah, okay, the Voyager.
What?
That's interesting. Oh, they call it a slate, too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Which, in other news, Slate's like taking orders and actually delivering or getting ready to deliver trucks. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Not to me, because I went and bought a Ford.
Almost the same price,
Yeah.
right? A couple thousand
It
off?
would have been about 10 grand more for the Slate.
Yeah. That would have been cool, though, to have a slate. We could have talked all sorts of cool stuff about that. It's not too
The
late.
thing was, though, it is, because my delivery window is next July. Like, I can't put, a few thousand down on a truck that won't be here until next year.
Yeah. The slate is really cool in concept, and I hope to see some around. Love to see one at a Rigs and Coffee.
There's another company, who is it, REO, Mark? Rio or whatever?
Yeah, REO, I think it is.
So they're coming out with something similar, except that it's can be gas, and it starts at 21.5. I'm interested. They're taking reservations too. I might throw one down. But that one's actually 4-wheel drive too, which is really cool. Yeah. I just like
Rio
Slate because it's a
Industries.
local company. Yep, it's the Rio truck. They're coming out. They're going to have a 2-door, a 4-door, and then a 4-door with a like a SUV 4-door.
Yeah, I guess they started in 1905, but just got reborn this year, I guess, supposedly.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. Yeah, and they're gonna have a 6-speed manual, which is sick. I'm interested to see what comes out. I really like this cheap, affordable truck market that's springing up out of the blue. I say cheap, affordable. They're still $20,000 fucking trucks, but that's more than I've ever spent on a vehicle. But that means that in 10 years, there'll be some in like the $5,000 to $10,000 mark,
Yeah.
and then I can afford it. So, I don't know. It's just cool to see new car companies springing up and stuff coming that's interesting. Oh, and they're gonna have a 4-wheel drive on the Rio. That's like a better slate all around.
I cannot wait to see Edison start pulling out some vehicles here.
Oh, dude, they're shutting down. Didn't you see that?
Shutting down, or they just shut down for now their electrical
No.
diesel?
No, they full on announced they're gonna have an entire company shutdown on the day that GTA 6 releases.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see. That.
Yeah, like most of them are.
You scared me a little bit, but yeah, unfortunately, they're kind of running across problems right now where they cannot get their diesel hybrid trucks going right now, so they paused that for the time being and are working on putting out very simple gas engine trucks out right now. I think they just did one and delivered it out, and that thing is sick looking. And I think they're still working on the diesel hybrid package for like older vehicles and stuff, like swap conversions.
They're still doing conversions, but they're kind of putting the trucks on hiatus because the Canadian government just will not approve them.
I know it's so stupid too. I don't understand where the Canadian government like profits off of doing this.
Oh, dude,
I mean, I do, but like,
I know right where it's coming from because the owner of Edison is not in their pocket. He doesn't conform to their ways and speaks out against them, so they're punishing him.
oh yeah, and eventually something's got to prevail. I don't think that he's gonna die out, but I know that they're definitely putting a hurt on it right now. There's been a huge amount of support for this, and I know he's talked about maybe bringing operations for that into the U.S. at one point.
Yeah.
Which we would welcome him with open arms here. That would be amazing. But Yeah, sad
So-
news on that front. I wish they'd just get their shit together.
I was when we were down in Indiana, I was gifted this Yeti koozie, and it's very nice in the fact that it does keep my cans very cold for a long time. But I run out of beer, and then I'm sad because it feels like there's beer in there because the koozie itself is heavy.
Right.
So it always feels like there's beer in the can, and then I go to get a drink, and it's bone dry.
Oh, wait. Okay, so before we get off, since we were talking about it earlier, what's one piece of equipment that you have right now, one of each from us, that has been completely useless? And I'm sure we've covered this before, but I want to cover, like, right now, from what we're using right now, what has been completely useless lately that we haven't used this summer. Not at all, but just like one piece of our kit that we haven't used at all.
Well, I haven't been camping, so my cooler.
Right. I would say right now my coffee grinder. I have an electric coffee grinder, and I haven't made coffee at all this year, and haven't made it since like mid-summer last year into fall. So that's been kind of sitting there, and I'm definitely debating cleaning that out. I haven't used my Jetboil at all either, because that was mostly for coffee.
Pretty much all of my gear is pointless because I haven't been camping this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I just mean like if there was a certain piece of kit that like maybe something that you haven't used at all either. Like I gave an example earlier about my drip Stanley that I
Yeah.
pretty much just I've
Dude.
tossed that to the side at this point.
I don't really, if I don't use an item for like 2 trips, it's gone. And I don't tend to keep things, I don't tend to get things I don't use.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's.
I mean, I could say my bumpers because I haven't hit anything.
Yeah.
Like it just,
Yeah.
I don't,
We-
you know?
If anything, it'd be our nodes that we haven't used for over a year.
Well, that's a good one.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, but it's
That's because Mark, I've used mine, but Mark cooked his and then just took him this long to decide to fix it.
but that's still
And
a good example.
It
though.
would have been, there are so many times it would have been so nice to have. But we also haven't been doing a lot of trips with 2 trucks.
Oh, yeah.
Like the only
No.
time when it would have been killer to have had it would have been when we did Poker Run. Dude, that would have saved our ass in Poker Run when Mark was having alternator issues.
Yeah. Wow.
But
Definitely glad he got that figured out. Now your truck's running perfect. No issues at all. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
As of
I
right
was
now,
hoping
no.
that he
Only
would
has to
say
clear-
yes.
he only has to clear code sometimes.
Gosh,
I
that's
just
crazy.
replaced the sensor, so hopefully that fixes it.
Wait, which sensor was that?
The one that comes with a kit.
What kit?
The bypass kit.
Oh, you did replace that?
Yes, I just got a new one. I actually got a spare one because I thought I can swap it out for the other part, but I think I need to buy a different core to make that one run off of instead of the actual unit there for the pump.
Gotcha.
Nope.
I guess I'd have to see it. Yeah, I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We missed that on
Yep.
the wrap, so good thing we brought it in on the last minute or so of the episode.
I think it
Yeah,
was a
I
major
hope that
thing.
fixes it.
Of course
Dude,
it is.
you've been having code problems with that truck for 3 years, 2 years. Like, yes, that's a major thing. If you
Majority
fix
of
it, that's
it's
big.
been the majority of it was a wire cut for the NOx sensors.
Yeah, but still, like, even after that, you were having code issues. Like, that's the information you got to give out to the listeners so they know. Oh, maybe I should check that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few times where we have done trail rides. You're like, hold on, I got to restart it. I got to clear the code, whatever it was. We had to stop for a bit and wait for Mark to figure it out and then go back again. So it's good. We do have to get a trail ride going. We got to do something now.
Yeah. Yeah, now that my shit functions.
Yeah, I'd like to go do north of White Cloud. There's some stuff I haven't done yet. So, like Broman area.
Yeah. We'll have to get something planned. Maybe after I cut the whole back of my truck apart.
Whatever. Don't do it.
What, dude? It's that or swap the body. And the body I was thinking about swapping, I'm looking at, and it's got the same fucking problems.
Yeah.
Just don't do
Like,
it.
I'm probably just gonna cut the rust out of there, and just call it a day.
That's the thing about rust, man. It spreads. It'll go to everything
Right, so
eventually.
you cut it off. You cut it off before it spreads.
Your poor truck. It hurts me seeing it from what it was. You showed me the before picture, and now it just hurts seeing everything done to it now. It makes me sad. It was so beautiful.
That's what happens
mean-
after a lower ball joint fail. Wrecks the one fender, so
Yeah,
it's all hails barred. No, nothing left for it.
Yeah, once that fender was done, dude, fuck it. Why not?
Yeah, screw replacing a fender or anything. He's just like,
I
let's
did
just start
replace
cutting
it.
everything
did.
out instead. Why not?
I did replace it, and then every time I took it out, parts would fall off, so I cut them off.
My lord.
And now that thing will outwheel almost anything around us.
I would love to see it go like head to head against Patrick's and CJ's in the UP. That would be really cool to get everyone together for something.
We need to. The downside is they both have low, which I don't have yet. And they're both locked front and rear, which I don't have a front locker yet. Soon. And in my little 50-mile bubble, I'm pretty confident to say I will most things around here.
Yeah, 50 mile for sure, I would say.
I mean, I know of a few that would outwheel me. There's a XJ. I guess it's like an XJ Comanche. It's a chopped XJ, okay?
Right.
That's over in Newego, and they would outwheel me in a heartbeat. They got Orion shocks. It's a massive rig. That thing is sick.
I don't know if I've seen that one yet.
Probably not, because they only wheel out down south and out west, and they trailer it everywhere, and they don't take it anywhere around here
Yeah, I guess that would make sense then.
because they only do rocks. Yeah.
All right,
All right, man.
Yep.
I think that's about it.
time to wrap it up. We'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Later.
Later.